Hey, Kate, how are you doing? Please tell us your name, your company, and what is your problem?
Hey Steve, thank you so much. My name is Kate Jaramillo. The company I'm with is Beyond Macros. And the problem that we're having is client retention and referrals. I feel like our churn and referral rate is not where it should be. And I want to get your expert advice.
All right. Well, I'd never say I was an expert in anything, but I'm a very good student. So let's kick it off. What does your company do?
We are business coaches for online nutrition coaches. So we help them create their offers, generate leads, and actually coach their clients, delivering a VIP experience.
All right. So that's what you do. What do you solve?
The problem that we solve is when a lot of the coaches that we work with are completely undercharging. They have no offer, they have no structure. They are struggling with client retention and referrals themselves. So once we come in and we help them create, like do some market research, refine their offer and their messaging, and then help them troubleshoot and some unique client situations so that they're really helping their clients get these transformative results. They're getting client testimonials, they're getting referrals. Clients are renewing, so they're staying on longer than their 3, 6, 9, 12-month contracts. So they're doing great with retention and referrals.
All right. So, and you're not.
Right.
Right. Okay. When do you ask for the testimonials and the referrals yourself?
We have not been asking until a graduation call. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So at the end of the party, that's when you ask.
Correct.
All right. Okay. That's wrong for a start. All right. So the other thing is, there's two things. One is positioning. Right at the beginning of every relationship, position that ask. Hey, Kate, I'm glad that we're having this call. And if everything goes well and we can satisfy your needs and we actually solve your problems, we get you what you need, I'm going to be asking you for referrals and testimonials. Are you comfortable with that? You want to
Yeah.
lay it down at the beginning, okay? The worst time to ask for anything is when they're out the door. And just by you calling it the graduation call, it's like, hey, you've graduated. Congratulations. See you later. Oh, by the way, before the door shuts, anyone else we should talk to? That's the worst time to be asking. You know that. As I've said it to you, you know that. So the first thing is anytime you ever have the beginning, the start, this is how we work. This is what we do. And during this is what we're going to be asking with. Are you comfortable with that? Lay it out, get it positioned. Then what you do is, how long do you average with a client?
About 6 months.
About 6 months. Okay. So what I would do is I would structure it within your communication that on month 2, excuse me, you reaffirm what's been achieved. Hey, we've been working together for 2 months. How do you feel this is going? Now, video, do you video and audio record your calls?
We do. Yeah, we record on Zoom.
All right, brilliant. Okay, so this is what you do. You say to them, hey, I want to be able to kind of like see how you're doing, but I will be using this feedback not only to improve our services, but also for future testimonials. You okay with that?
Okay,
So
that's a great
during
idea.
the conversation, you go, what has been achieved over these 2 months? And they go, well, actually, you've saved me time. You've increased my clarity. And yeah, I feel as though we're getting somewhere. This isn't asking for the result. This is just the journey. All right. Okay, great. Straight away out of that video, the sound bite, I feel as though I've gained clarity. There's a testimonial.
Yeah.
All right. And then you get into the 4th month. Hey, okay, so we've been doing this for 4 months now. How do you feel as though it's well, now I've got this. Now I've got. Do you feel as though you could have achieved it yourself, or what has been the main solution that you feel that we brought to the table? This. There's your next testimonial. And then before the graduation, because the graduation, it's like going up to someone that's getting married and asking them about, oh, we were talking about doing your patio. Is this a good time for us to discuss your patio work? No, because on the wedding, it's all eyes on them. On the graduation, it's celebrating them.
Mhm.
Don't ask for anything yourself. Bad timing. Do
Okay.
it on the second month, do it on the fourth month, and then before you go into the graduation, it's been a pleasure to be working with you for 6 months. This is your day. Do you remember when we spoke 2 months and you said you were this, you'd gained the clarity, you'd done this, you'd done this, you'd done it. And do you remember we had that conversation on month 4? In fact, we got those beautiful testimonials on video when you were saying, "Oh, thank you very much for doing that." That's called an assumptive close.
Mm.
You've got it on video. You've told them that I'm going to be using the feedback I get for testimonials and for increasing my productivity. And then when you get to the graduation, you're now reaffirming. You see, the trouble is and we're going to go into the breed in a second.
Okay.
And I'll leave that just to hang there for a second. But we'll talk about the breed that you're dealing with. But when you've got someone that's fat, thin, and they walk off, they want to be able to kind of take the pride and go, "Well, yeah, I did it all myself." They don't
Mhm.
always want to be able to admit that there's someone behind them. Now, I have coaches and mentors, okay, because I want to be far better than I am.
Right.
There's not a successful person out there that doesn't have that, but there's still this kind of I don't want to say embarrassment or humiliation. I'll use the word weakness.
Mm.
There's this form
Mhm.
of weakness that when you have a coach, when you have a trainer, when you have oh, you couldn't do it yourself, you had to get help. So did Michael Jordan. So did Barack Obama. So did Steve Jobs. So did Bill Gates. Anyone that's done anything fantastic didn't do it alone. They
Mm.
brought in experts to help them along that way. So a lot of people look at it as a weakness. You've got to change the framework there.
Yeah.
It takes a strong, powerful person to get help to be better. And we are thrilled to have been part of that journey. How are you going to do that if we stop?
Mhm.
Can you imagine how the last 6
Mm.
months would have been had we not been having these conversations?
Yeah.
And start getting that aligned. Say, "Hey, I'm not there to be in front of your journey, but I'm there to make sure your mechanics and engine is working accurately.
Mhm.
I don't want to see that momentum fall." Now,
Right.
you want to affirm how they got there. You want to requalify what they've said along the journey. Excuse me. And get them thinking, "Oh my God, what would my life be without Kate?"
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, of course I would have got there. And of course you would have done, but it would have taken you 3 years.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I've saved you 2.5 by us only taking 6 months.
Mhm. Yeah.
Can you imagine what we could do with this momentum for another 6 months? And start getting them into their heads. You are the solution to that problem. You are also the solution to that time. And we can make more money, but dear Lord, we can't make more time.
Right.
Now, I mentioned to you that I was going to talk to you about the breed.
Yeah.
You've got to any kind of coach, any kind of mentor, any kind of trainer still has that kind of like, "Yeah, I got there myself. I worked my way. No one taught me how to do it." And that's wrong. A good trainer, a good coach is the one that says, "Hey, I'm good here, but I'm better because I get qualified. I get trained. I'm constantly doing," and they own that. The downside about that is they're not always going to want to give away their asset, which is you.
Mhm.
So what you need
Mhm.
to do is you need to be able to get it from those testimonials. Now, I've always done really, really well by never having going to clients and having them try to do my referral for me. I've always gone, "Hey, our business, that's our business."
Yeah.
But whenever I've done works by doing that pre-form at the beginning, "Hey, over the next few months, I'm going to be asking, and we're going to be recording it. so I
Mhm.
can get that feedback to better help you. And it's also going to help me along the way because I'll have those sound bites for future testimonials. And because you've already positioned it, you don't have to ask them. You can literally go back and say, hey, I remember we spoke on month 2. You actually mentioned this. Thank you so much for working with us and saying those things. I'm going to be using that on our website.
Mhm.
Now, you already said to them at the beginning, I'm going to be using this for, are you okay with it? You've already got that video that says yes.
Yeah.
If they give you a little bit of kickback and go, well, I actually don't want my name there. Well, this is unfortunate because you remember when we spoke, I said that I was going to be using it. So if there's a different testimonial that you'd like to give me, I'll be thrilled to receive it and check it over. So if you could say
Mm.
that will get them more active. They may not want to go on month 2 or month 4. Maybe they went, Kate, my life couldn't be where it is if it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't want to give that strength away. But if you've now got that, and there's a few people out there that are going to be like, well, you're holding them for ransom. Yeah, I am. But I already told you I was going to be using it. You want to change your story now? That's absolutely fantastic. But if I've got you on video saying my life wouldn't be the same without Steve Sims, and I go, well, hey, if you don't want me to use that testimony, won't they be a little bit more proactive and encouraged to give you a nice one?
Mhm.
It
Yeah,
may
for
be a
sure.
watered down version, but as long as you've got that picture, that company, and that testimonial, you've got what you needed, but you positioned it at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the thing you got to do. So the 2 things I would do was, first of all, position on the first call.
Mhm.
I'm going to be videoing our work together, going to be using it on feedback in order for us to be better, in order to make you better. But any really cool nuggets out of there, I'll be able to use as testimonials as we grow.
Mhm.
Are we okay with that? That's the first thing you've got to get on video.
Okay.
And then you've got to reaffirm on the 2nd month, got to reaffirm on the 4th month, and on the 6th month, do what that is a congratulations, but reaffirm you did this on 2, you did this on 4. Can you imagine what we could do if we went for another 3 months?
Yeah.
And you've never done that?
We do have like an upsell process. We do have and if we will invite them to continue on if it's the right fit. But it's not done in that way. And the way that you're talking about it feels really aligned. Really like getting them to that part where we're celebrating their wins. And then we're just going, can you like look at what we've done in just 6 months' time? Can you imagine what else we can do in another 3, 6 months? So let's just keep it going. I love the way that that's presented. That feels really good to me.
Do you contract them for a minimum period?
We do. So we have different levels of mentorship that they can come in at, and I mean, the minimum is 3 months, and then
And
we
how
have
much is
6 months.
it a month?
So it's $2,000 a month.
$2,000 a month, and you
Hmm.
contract them for a minimum of 3 months.
Correct.
All right. You ever thought of kicking that out?
Of the contract?
Yeah. Killing the
Mm,
contract, tearing it up. Have you ever thought of doing that?
no.
And why wouldn't you?
Um, that's a good question. I think it comes down to momentum building, saying like, "Hey, look, like there's only so much that we can do together in a month's time, depending on where you're starting from. So we want you to, commit to us and commit to yourself and your business for a minimum of 3 months."
That's fine. That statement's beautiful. Okay. And you'll be able to rewatch this on YouTube or stuff, but that's a beautiful statement. But we're in a world where people don't like contracts.
Hmm.
We're in a world where we've all gone through the cancel culture.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to sign a contract. And now we're seeing a lot of advertisements for like phone companies and for, streaming services. No contract, you stop. Us personally, within our coaching program, we actually say that you stop having us on when we become an invoice rather than an asset.
Mm.
And by doing that, people have ended up staying with us for 36 months. Okay, because it's
Wow.
it's a month by month. I've actually had people come to us going, "How do you keep that retention?" It's because quite simply, the first thing we did was we said, "There's no contracts." The
Hmm.
second we become an invoice versus an asset, you stop.
Yeah.
Okay. So at the moment, saying, hey, I want you to commit to you. I want you in your bank account and in your head to think, hey, I've got to realign this in 2 to 3 months.
Mhm.
Okay. But I'm not going to charge you a contract. Okay. I'm not going to have you sign anyway because contracts help attorneys. They don't help you or me. You know,
Mhm.
any contract's a bad thing. Simple as that. I want you to commit. If you feel that, we're not the kind of conversation you want to be having in a month, 2 months, 3 months, you stop. This is all about you.
Yeah.
If it ain't working for you, then it doesn't do anything.
Mhm.
But if you remove the contractual obligation, let's say for argument's sake, I meet you, Kate, and this may not be the best example. And I go, hey, I'd like to take you out for a date on Tuesday night. But before I do that, could you please sign this contract that there will be 3 more dates after that?
Right.
All right. Now, I know my wife would agree with me, but of course I'm stunningly good looking. So you'll be ready to sign that contract. But straight away, it repels you because of the restriction. You're now in
Mhm.
a contract. You may have the best date of your life, but you're in a contract. It just makes you feel confined and shackled. It doesn't make you feel good.
Mhm.
So in today's world, what you've got to do is you've got to recognize the temperature of today's society and today's conversation. And the
Mhm.
temperature is we don't like contracts. We
Mhm.
don't like having to commit to what you say I have to commit to. Now, having to commit what works for me, your original statement was absolutely golden. I want you to commit for 3 months for the benefit of you.
Mhm.
We don't have a contract. Okay. You don't like it after 1 month, stop.
Yeah.
Okay. But when you remove that contract element, this is what's going to happen. People are going to go, well, I haven't got to pay, you know, I haven't got to pay 6 grand for this. I've only got to pay 2 grand, you
Yeah.
know,
Mhm.
and at the end of the month, I'll get everything out of it I can and I'll be gone. That's how a lot of people think.
Mhm.
Okay. We have a lot of people on Sims Distillery. They sign up, they watch everything, and then they stop the following month and they think, there you go, they've got everything. But with you, they're going to realize, hey, I'm being challenged here. I'm being pushed here. I'm not going to get that next month if I don't pay, And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, when you're reconfirming or reaffirming, hey, can you see where we've gone? Can you see where we're going? And then month 4, all of a sudden, you're going to become an asset that they can't. You're going to become the fuel for their trajectory, for their future.
Mhm.
I think you should remove the contract.
Okay.
Does it make sense to you, though?
Yeah, it definitely does. And I think too, like you said, I think that when we're looking at that like retention and referral issue, that we will retain the people who are doing the work and who are open and coachable. And that's who our ideal client is. It's somebody who's going to be coachable and resourceful and will step out of their comfort zone and do scary things and just fully absorb everything versus the person who is just they invest, but then they drag their feet and they don't do anything. And then so we're not retaining them. It doesn't make sense to even offer continuation. They're definitely not going to be referring anybody or giving us any sort of testimonials because they haven't done anything. And that doesn't feel good as a coach either.
It's
So yeah.
worse. It's worse. We've all had clients that have like a Nirvana moment. You remember the song from Nirvana where it says, "Here we are now, entertainers."
Hmm.
There's a lot of people that want to be coached that think just by paying they're going to suddenly become really successful.
Yeah.
They pay
Yeah.
for the direction for what they have to implement. If they don't implement, then it doesn't create action, and
Hmm.
you get a lot of lazy people. If you've got those people in a contract, not only are you not getting a referral, you're getting a bad taste. And
Yeah.
sooner or later, that person's going to go, okay, oh, you want to go 6 months? That girl had me doing that. No, 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 no. It's just it's a contract. Contracts concern us.
Hmm.
I think what's happening at the moment is if you remove the contractual, and we're going to go back to referrals in a second. If you remove the contractual obligation from your relationship and said, this is your commitment to you, and
Hmm.
put it in their lap, you're going to get 2 things. You're going to get longer with your clients because they're on a month to month. Hey, the second I stop becoming an asset and become an invoice, you're gone.
Yeah.
Okay. That suddenly sits well within them. You're also going to get those people that go, I'm going to test this out. And I could look through my database of coaching clients, and I could see a good 15 to 20% of those that have gone, I'm just going to try it for a month, and 18 months are still here.
Hmm.
Okay. Because I've gone, we're not a contract. This is your commitment to you. You don't do anything, stop coming.
Yeah.
It puts you in a stronger position by you also doing the positioning at the beginning about, I'm going to use this for testimonials. You can start leaking those testimonials on there. Now, when it comes to the referrals, this is a tough one.
Hmm.
You're going to have an issue with hugely successful coaches admitting that you were the asset for their brilliance. But you can take little elements of their testimonials and populate it on the website. You're already a client of mine, so I'm not pitching you on anything. You're already in.
Yeah.
If you go to sims.media and the Steve D. Sims website, you'll see where I pepper in those referrals.
Hmm.
And I did something, I like to try things different, but on the Steve D. Sims website, I actually put on the bottom some of the referrals, and then I put something about, need more. And when you click on it, it's about 200 in there that I just went, well, you did ask, and just you flooded it. At the moment, what's the point of a testimonial on your website? What is the point? At grassroots level, what's the point of a testimonial on your website?
So that people can see that, we've had happy clients
Happy clients means
or successful clients.
success. It's all credibility, isn't it?
Hmm. Yeah.
The reason that you have a testimonial on there is to convince potentials that you are credible and you are results driven.
Hmm.
For you to be able to declare, I don't have contracts because we're committed with you rather than the attorneys, that's a beautiful position to have.
Hmm.
Secondly, these are what people say about us. You got it at 2 month, you got it at 4 month, you got it at 6 month. So every client has got potentially 3 different statements, 3 different nuggets that can be populated within your testimonials. How long would you think it would take for you to fill up an entire page of testimonials from people saying these kind of things when you positioned it appropriately to remove it from the videos that they were in?
Less than a day.
Bingo. All right.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
So remove the contracts. And I'm really excited about this. I can already see how it's playing out
But
in
is
my
that
mind.
scary?
It's definitely scary.
It is, isn't it?
Definitely scary. But I love saying, like, talking to them about being an asset versus an invoice. And I also think that it helps us further stand out from other people that are working with people within our niche, because we're not selling just a program. We're offering an experience, we're offering coaching. And I see how this would play really well into us really delivering that VIP experience that we coach our clients to deliver on, being able to guide them in certain, like, how to get certain resources when they're ready for certain things. I think that it would allow us to vet people for our highest level, our mastermind, a lot easier as well, versus just saying, okay, well, you did 3 months and you did 6 months, so now it's time for this. It's more of that client-led journey that we're really looking for. And then in the very beginning of the kickoff, the onboarding call, letting them know that, asking permission, letting them know that we're going to be recording these calls, that when we get those wins, that we like to record them and share them publicly. And is that okay?
Yeah, you're more asking for confirmation and permission. We're going to be doing
Mm,
this. Is that okay? So you're looking
okay.
for a confirmation rather than a permission. Can I do this? Is different to I'm going to do this. Is that okay? And
Yeah.
again, when you wrap it into a reason why it benefits them, for
Hmm.
their growth, for your growth to be better, for that, it's a
Yeah.
constant win for them. How many of your coaching clients use a contract with their clients?
I mean, most. And it's funny because as we were talking about this, I was actually thinking of one of our clients who doesn't use a contract with their clients, and they have the highest retention rate of all of their of all of the ones that we work with. They
I
stay
think
for
that
like at least a year.
I think that's what we call a mic drop moment.
Mhm.
You see, how strong would it show you and your capability to your clients when you go, hey, you use a contract, good for you. We're so strong that we don't need to do that.
Mhm.
And again, focusing on you and not the lawyer's retainer.
Yeah. Yeah, and it feels really good to be able to have that, like, the differentiation between the clients, right? Like, bringing in the people that are fully committed and just
Hmm.
reinvest every month because they're taking action. And again, that's really who we want to work with. You know, as a coach, as a business owner, when people aren't taking action, I know I internalize it sometimes. I'm like, oh, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want the right people in your
Yeah.
sandpit rather than a lot of people.
Yes, exactly.
I've always
Exactly.
said take on a person rather than their checkbook.
Yeah. 100%.
Well, Kate, I'm thrilled that you're part of our family.
Me
Thanks for being a
too.
member of Sims Distillery and the Speakeasy community. I hope this helps you.
This has been amazing. Thank you so much for your help. This has been incredible. I really appreciate it. And I'll report back and then I'll write a testimonial for you too.
There you go. Perfect. Thank you very much, Kate. Look
Thank
after
you.
yourself.
Bye.
Hey, this is Steve Sims, and I hope you liked that episode of Being Coached by Steve Sims. Subscribe over here, watch some other cool videos over here, or for your chance to be coached by me for the YouTube series, join here at simsdistillery.com.